So how you doing, my man? Everything good with you?
I'm doing good, man. Just excited about this upcoming football season. It seems like it's been years since a real football game has been played when it's actually only been about 7 months. But, hey, I'm ready to rock and roll.
I'll tell you what, if the college scene this weekend is any indication of the football that we have up and coming, it's going to be a hell of a year for football fans because those college games are absolutely bonkers this weekend.
100% agree with you. The NFL has a lot to live up to tomorrow night because the Florida State and Ole Miss game was crazy in college, and Texas and Notre Dame was another good one, and there was several other games that I can name. It just was a phenomenal week for college football, the best week one of college football ever.
And that's saying a lot. All right, well, let's start talking a little NFL. We're going to just jump right in. Let's talk about rookies. Rookies. We're talking about rookies. Who do you have this year coming in as your defensive player of the year? I'll start on the defensive side because, as many of y'all know, Fabian was a first-round pick as a cornerback for the Oakland Raiders. He knows a thing or two about defense. He was in the league for 7 full years. I count 8. He counts 7, but he was in the league. He knows defense. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball. Who's your defensive rookie of the year?
My defensive rookie is a kid that I'm in love with. I've been in love with him since his freshman year in college. I'm going to go rookie of the year for defense, Vernon Hargraves III. My reason being, I checked him out in the preseason. He already looks very comfortable playing defense and confident. The only hiccup I think I'm going to run into with him winning defensive rookie of the year, he has to get on the field. And I think, you can't keep playmakers off the field. We've seen in the preseason he's a playmaker, two interceptions. I'm going to go with him. I think he's the best. I thought he was the best cornerback coming out of college, and the Bucs got a good one that I think will be in the league for a long time.
All right, solid call. I like that. Looking at the history, I went back and looked since 2000, the last 16 years. Out of defensive rookie of the years, 11 of them have been linebackers. 2 have been defensive ends. 2 have been defensive tackles. And there's only been 1 corner in the whole 16 years that I reviewed that was defensive player of the year, and that was Peters just last year.
Last year.
Yeah. So it's not a very common thing to see a corner be, defensive rookie of the year because it's such a tough position to making that transition from college to the NFL. But my pick this year for defensive rookie of the year, I'm going to go with Mr. Jack in Jacksonville. I think this kid has a chip on his shoulder because he went so late in the draft. A lot of people had him going at the top end of the draft, and he kind of sat around and waited, for a little while. And I think Miles Jack's gonna turn some heads this year. He can play a ton of different positions. I mean, I know he's a linebacker, which fits into that history tells us sort of thing, but he's fast, he's athletic, he can play safety if he absolutely had to because he's so fast. I don't know about his pure pass rushing skills and how that'll convert to the NFL, but sideline to sideline, I think he's going to make a lot of tackles. I think he's going to always be around the ball, and that bodes well for winning, rookie of the year, getting a lot of your name in the stat box quite often. So Jack is my pick for defensive rookie of the year.
That's a cool pick, actually. I watched him play a lot in college, and I fell in love with him also. He's a playmaker. He's a go-getter. The only reason why he fell in the draft is due to injury.
Yeah, he had that knee problem.
If he is healthy, he's a top 5 pick.
Exactly.
I'm talking easily. He's a top 5 pick. So that's a solid pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm rocking with. All right, let's flip the script and go on the offensive side. Who is your offensive rookie of the year?
Man, I'm going with who everybody else is going with. I'm going with Ezekiel Elliott. He's running behind the best run blocking offensive line in the NFL. Why not take him? And I just last year they had a good running game behind the best offensive line. We seen 2 years ago the running game was amazing. Now they get another elite. I'm already calling him elite running back. I think he rushes for 1,400 to 1,500 yards this year behind that offensive line. But he's going to need some help from the quarterback position. If that can play solid, that'll open up a lot of holes for him because they won't be able to load the box. And of course, they got number 88 out there. There's no way you're gonna just play 9 in the box with 88 out there. You're gonna have to have a safety over the top of him. So I think Ezekiel Elliott is gonna run away with the offensive rookie of the year. I don't even think it's gonna be close.
Well, I have to steal a line from our college friend. Not so fast, my friend. I don't think that it's going to be a runaway. I do, however, I had Ezekiel Elliott just like everybody else because, you connect the dots, the writing's on the wall. He's got the best line. He's got probably the best talent at the position. But after watching some preseason games and after seeing a little maturation with Mariota, I am going to go ahead and take Derrick Henry as my offensive rookie of the year. I think even though he's splitting carries, this is a grown man out there. This is not a rookie. I watched this guy in preseason, and he is making defensive backs pay for hitting him. But he also has this uncanny ability to get skinny in the hole. And a lot of you football people may not know what that means. That means he has the ability to get small when he has to. I saw him going through the A-gap, cutting right up the middle of the field, basically, and he turned completely sideways, stops on a dime, makes a cut left, and then has the acceleration to outrun the linebacker and the safety for about a 15, 20-yard gain. Now, for a man that's 6'4", 6'3", 240 at least, to be able to do
those freak.
Things.
Athletically, he's a freak. I just wouldn't go that route with offensive rookie of the year because I'm always weary of Alabama running backs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have the stigma.
They don't show improve. Improve.
Lacey's had a pretty good year in Green Bay. He's done okay for himself.
He has had a good year, and we seen last year he didn't take care of his body, and he actually got demoted to number 2 last year.
Yeah, he couldn't stay away from
I'm always
Krispy
weary
Kreme.
of exactly. I'm always weary of Alabama running backs, but I think Henry athletically is a freak. He's solid. I'm talking about look like Tarzan. I want him to play like Tarzan, though.
True. But I look at the quarterback position for each team, and you alluded to it earlier. I think Prescott is teams are going to force him to throw. They're going to, every defensive coordinator in the NFL is going to be in the film room, and they're going to say, okay, we know that Elliott is going to get the ball 25 times. They're going to probably have 8 to 10 designated pass plays for him. We've got to stop him first. And if we do, then we're going to put the onus on Prescott to make plays to Dez Bryant and to get the ball to Witten and to get the ball to other guys. But I just see a concerted game plan, if you will, to stop an Elliott right off the jump. Where I think with the Titans, they've got, a quarterback who's mobile. You got to worry about, a lot of the read option with Tennessee. And you've got, DeMarco Murray still, obviously in the prime of his career. So it's kind of a double-headed attack. And late in the fourth quarter, when you've got a fast quarterback running you sideline to sideline. You've got an all-pro type running back in Murray who's been wearing you out. And now you bring in a guy who's kind of fresh. He's been rotating in and out throughout the game, and he's as big and strong as Henry. I just see him having the ability to break off 8 to 12-yard runs at will. I just think he's going to be a red zone monster. He's going to rack up a bunch of touchdowns and maybe do enough to get that hardware.
Okay, well, we both picked running backs. I think my running back is going, like I say, run away with it. I don't think it'll even be close. You're talking about a running back, I think, who will rush for possibly 700-800 yards versus a running back who could possibly go for 1,500 yards. I think my running back will definitely win Rookie of the Year.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's keep it moving. The next thing I want to talk about is the comeback player of the year. As you know, through your personal experience, coming back from an injury sucks balls. There ain't no other way to put it. It's not fun. You got a lot of hard work in the off season, getting your body back in shape. You got to be able to trust the injury once you come back. There's a couple of guys that had some major injuries but were major contributors to their team. Who do you see as being the comeback player of the year in the 2016 season?
I've thought about this one here. I'm torn between two players right now. And the two players are Jordy Nelson and Terrell Suggs. I think both are going to have phenomenal years. But if I'm going to go with one, I have to go with Jordy. I think Jordy, if healthy this year, is going to do what Jordy does. He takes the top off, he gets a lot of targets, and he gets a lot of yards. So, therefore, I think he'll end up winning the comeback player of the year. But there's a lot of guys out there that I was thinking about, but I had to I narrowed it down to two, and I think Sizzle is going to have a very productive year, going for at least double-digit sacks. But I think the stats are going to show that Jordy will definitely get that award.
Well, you make a good point. Plus, he's got Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, which, means he's going to get a lot of well-thrown balls.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead and pick somebody that I think we're going to see tomorrow night. I think this guy was desperately missed in the Super Bowl, and I'm going with Kelvin Benjamin. I believe that this young man is going to come out and just light the world on fire because he was primed. I mean, he was already starting to break out before he got hurt, but you know how it is. He
had a phenomenal rookie year.
He did. And that second or third year in the league is really when, you kind of the game slows down for you. Everything starts to make more sense. You're not a new face in the building. You have that familiarity with everything. And I think that Cam Newton realizes that this guy makes him better. And I just see him getting a lot of targets. I see him getting a ton of red zone opportunities because he's so big and tall. So I'm going with Benjamin. I think Benjamin's going to be the guy that wins comeback player of the year. That's who I'm going with.
Hey, that's a solid pick. I thought about him also. And if he comes back, I'm talking about 90% of what he was. Cam Newton got him a good one because the kid, like I said, he had a phenomenal year. His rookie year and his size is for a defensive back to have to guard a guy that big. It's insane, and he runs the entire route tree, so that also makes it tough. And like you say, we'll get to see him tomorrow to see how he looks.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely will be. Obviously there's a ton of guys out there that can turn heads. I was thinking about Jordy Nelson myself just because I know how valuable he is to the Packers offense. But the more I thought about it, the more I just see Benjamin. We don't know what his ceiling is yet. The injury kind of took away him, heading into that take the next step phase of your career. We're just ready to see this guy blow up and then he gets hurt. So, while Jordy is great, we kind of know what he brings to the table. He's been around long enough that we know what he's all about. but we don't really know how great Kelvin Benjamin can be. It's still wide open for him in my book. So I'm looking forward to see what kind of season he has.
It'll be interesting.
All right, let's move along to our next topic, Defensive Player of the Year. Not rookie, but Player of the Year. Who do you have being the best defender for the whole season this year? Hit me.
Again, it came down to two players with me. Two players it came down to, and I think both of them are going to have an amazing year. It came down to Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald. I think both are going to have outstanding years, and I mean crazy numbers. But if you know what team I played for, you know who I'm about to say. I'm going with Khalil Mack. The dude is a freak. Coming off that edge,
right.
He's going to be one of the best we've seen. Trust me. He's
I agree.
A freak.
And that's my pick as well.
Mack.
It's the same pick I made. I was torn. You know,
wow. Mr. Broncos?
Yeah,
Mr. Broncos.
I know. I knew you were gonna say some shit like that. I knew it, but I knew it. But listen, here's the thing, and I'll just be honest. I think that Von Miller just won a Super Bowl. Not saying that he just got his contract. He's been all over every commercial, every Dancing with the Stars. He's got, deodorant ads. He's doing, and not saying that means he's not going to perform. He will. He'll be ready. But to me, Khalil Mack is hungry. He hasn't gotten that taste of success on the national level yet. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. He hasn't been a Super Bowl MVP. He doesn't have these major endorsements coming at him left and right. So I think that little bit of hunger, that little bit of chip on your shoulder, if you will, along with his exceptional talent, technique, and I really like his head coach. I think Del Rio, with his linebacker acumen, if you will, and his smarts, is really going to show him the nuances and the finer points of being an edge rusher, make him much more complete. It wouldn't surprise me to see Matt get 20 sacks this year. 20.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I think he's going to light it up when it comes to sacks. And it helps. It's going to help so much him having Bruce Irvin on the other side. That's going to help.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. So I would like to see Von Miller win it. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I just think that – of course I would. But, with all that attraction comes – game planning. Not that teams aren't going to game plan for Mack. Of course they will. But I would be really surprised if you see Von Miller getting any kind of one-on-one against the tackle. I think he's going to get chipped. He's going to get chopped. He's going to get pretty much hit with everything that they can throw at him to slow him down because his get-off is just that good. He's just that fast off the snap, and they're going to do whatever they can, to protect their quarterback when he's in the ball game.
Absolutely.
So we both agree Khalil Mack will be the Defensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald gets honorable mention for you. Von Miller gets honorable mention for me. And that is where we're going to leave that. Just remember, sacks equals stacks, ladies and gentlemen. The more sacks you get, the more stacks you get. So get them sacks, get that paper. That's what it's all about. All right. Let's talk about offense. Who do you see bringing home the Offensive Player of the Year for this upcoming season, Fabe?
I went. This one took me like 30 minutes. There's a lot of, on offense, it's always going to be a plethora of guys that can win the Offensive Player of the Year. But
I know.
I had to go last year and just look at some numbers and look at some things, and I went with Julio Jones. Julio Jones, 1871 last year. 1871. 12 targets a game. I figure if he can get 13 to 14 targets a game, he's going to go for over 2,000 yards this year.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Crazy.
I'm just looking at that guy. He's the perfect blend of size and speed.
Mm-hmm.
So big, but then will take the top off of defense. So he's not one of those big guys, i.e. who we were just talking about, a Calvin Benjamin. You know Benjamin's not going to take the top off. You're not worried about that. He just catches a lot of balls, and he run the entire route tree. But Julio is a guy. Julio can have 6 catches for 250 yards. That's not, like, unfathomable for him.
Plus, I think Atlanta will be behind a lot. And they'll be throwing a lot, to be honest.
We'll see about that. I think that defense, another year with their coach, that defense will be improved. But that conversation is for another time and place. Like
True.
I think Julio will be the offensive MVP because obviously I think he's going for over 2,000 yards. A receiver go for over 2,000 yards. You got to hand him that trophy.
See, the problem I have with picking a receiver is there's just too many great ones. If I'm going to say a receiver,
yes, you're right,
and it's not Antonio
I know which
Brown,
one you're going to.
I say you're crazy.
What?
If it's not, how could it not be AB? I mean, you're going to pick a receiver and it's not AB.
Julio?
How could it not be AB? How could it not be Odell Beckham Jr.? I mean, you could go on and on and on. So instead of saying how could it not be them, I'm going to say it's going to be Todd Gurley. That's who's going to win it because the Rams have a brand new, spanking new quarterback who's third string. He ain't playing, but they got a new stadium. They got a brand new city. They need to create an identity, and Coach Fisher knows that identity is right behind Mr. Gurley. He's going to give him the rock a lot, and he's going to say, do your thing. Rumble, young man, rumble. And he's going to rumble all right. He's going to run and run and run and put up phenomenal numbers. He's going to have a shit ton of touchdowns. He's going to have a boatload of yards. He's just going to do it all. He's going to be a one-man wrecking crew. He came into the league as a rookie just to steal your line, snatching souls. and you don't think that
he's a soul snatcher. He's definitely a soul snatcher.
No doubt about it. I think he's the new Adrian Peterson.
I can see that. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. But I'm
especially
still going with Julio.
Yeah, I can understand who. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them. You know, it's like you take one, I'll take the other, and I'll be happy. But as far as stats are concerned and numbers are concerned, when you look at wide receivers, a lot of them have these gaudy numbers. A lot of them have just, with the new rules and everything, geared towards scoring and filling seats, you got wide receivers that are just, yeah, exactly. I mean, they basically just, every one of them is just gone bonkers. But, you look at a guy like Gurley, he's kind of a throwback player. He can run around you. He can run through you. He can catch it. He's good in pass protection. He could do everything. And coming into his second year, he's healthy. The game will start to slow down for him. The only part about Gurley that makes me even have a little bit of trepidation is that he's in the NFC West that's loaded with great defense.
Tough. That's defense. Yes. That's defense. That division is defense.
Yeah, they got a bunch of monsters that will just punch you in the face. From Seattle, the Cardinals. I mean, they're all tough,
They're all.
He's lucky he doesn't have to go up against his own defensive line, that's for sure. They're monsters,
Absolutely.
too.
Right? Absolutely.
What coach do you have being the coach of the year? Who do you got?
Are you serious?
Let me guess.
I'm gonna let you
Jack
say
Del Rio. Jack Del Rio.
Absolutely.
I
Jack
knew it.
Del Rio.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on 1 second, because this guy that's on the other line right now, every other day on Twitter calls me a homer, and so far I've heard Terrell Suggs'
not a homer
name.
pick.
Hold on a second. I heard Terrell Suggs' name mentioned, who's a former teammate. I've heard all these Raiders, that Khalil Mack, Raider, Terrell Suggs, former teammate. Now we're talking about Jack Del Rio, coach's former team.
Jack Del Rio is the obvious pick here. It's a retooled Raiders team that was already good last year.
Go ahead, keep talking.
And FYI, throughout this program, I'm not done talking about a couple of my teams. So, hey, this may be the one show you can call me a homer. Because I got, I did kind of go with the home team, but you do know I'm the furthest thing from a homer.
No,
but
you're not.
The pick is solid. That's a solid
pick. It is.
Jack
That's
Del
who
Rio.
I have. That's who I picked. I have Jack Del Rio
wow.
too. I honestly, I do. I
Broncos
think
Nation is finna disown you.
That's all right. Bring it.
About to disown you.
Well, I look across the league and I see a team on the rise. They got a good young quarterback. They got a wide receiver in Cooper that's just, God, so good. He makes your eyes pop. They got I like their running game with Murray. He's looking better. Their defense, like we said, with Mack, they got a bunch of young guys in the secondary, but they're coming around. Del Rio knows how to whip them guys into shape. And I think they're ready to really make the move toward challenging. I'm not going to say they're going to win it, but they're challenging for a division title in the West. You know, I mean, the last time they won the AFC West, the Dead Sea was only 6.
Hey.
So
it's a new day.
It's been a while.
It's a new day in the black hole.
Yeah, it's a black hole, all right. But I think Del Rio is gonna really turn the corner for these boys, and I think that I could see them winning 10, 11 games this year. I really do. They have all the pieces in place, and they believe in each other. That's the biggest thing. Winning breeds confidence. Winning breeds winning, and they finally have that swagger that they can come out and win. You can see it. You can see the way they carry themselves now. It's not like the Raiders of old who used to just wait for that here we go moment. That's no longer around, so it's a good thing. I like Del Rio. JDR, Coach of the Year. Book it, Dano. We both agree. Who's your MVP?
That won't happen too often. MVP.
Who's your MVP?
MVP?
Overall, league MVP. Who is it?
Somebody just got one of their toys back this year, so I'm going to go with AR-12. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. That's my guy. I love Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw for 3,800 yards last year without his toy. And that's the lowest he's thrown for since he's been a Green Bay starter. Don't account for 2013 when he only played 9 games. So I'm not counting that season. I'm talking about full season as him as the starter. 3,800 yards. Season low. You got to think he's going to go for, I'm thinking around 4,500 to the, about 4,500 sounds about right. So,
it does.
I think him getting Jordy back, first of all, like I said earlier in the program, Jordy is going to take the top off the defense. Now, with Jordy taking the top off the defense, it's going to help out the other receivers get open. We've seen this before. So when teams go to double Jordy, Aaron Rodgers throwing for 350, 400 yards. Book it. MVP Aaron Rodgers. He's here to play this year.
I like it. I've been kicking this around, and I keep going around in circles. First, I wanted Aaron Rodgers because everything you said makes sense. It does, and he's talented. And then I thought, you know what? Ben Roethlisberger's got a million weapons. He's got just, from Brown to he's got talent all around him. And then,
but they're suspended.
Some of them, not all of them. But then I look at a guy who I think is currently suspended, and I think he's going to come back and light the league on fire. And I'm picking Tom Brady as my league MVP. In a 12-game season, And I'll tell you why. It's not just, he's mad at the NFL and he's pissed off because he got caught playing with his balls and all that other crap, which was totally ludicrous at the end of the day. It was just a pissing contest. But that's neither here nor there. The reason that I picked Tom Brady is because of their extra tight end, Mr. Bennett. And when Tom Brady has a 2 tight end set with Gronk and Bennett, with Edelman underneath doing what he does, they are pretty damn unstoppable. And as much as I hate Josh McDaniels for coming to Denver and ruining our damn city, he does know what he's doing as far as X's and O's and creating mismatches.
Yes.
So when you have a guy, and when you have a guy like Bennett and you have Gronk and you got Brady who's just ready to come in and just light everybody up, I really think that's going to be like, you're going to be like, holy shit numbers. You're going to see numbers that, I wouldn't be surprised if every game he throws for over 300 yards, every game, except for when he goes to Denver.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. And I think I read somewhere they are going to major in 12 personnel. So those 2 tight ends are mismatches. Like, who do you put out there for both of them?
Exactly.
That's what they're going to major in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy because
they're going to be
you're not
stacked.
putting safeties on them. You're not putting linebackers on them. Corners are too small. It's like they got the mix. They have the mismatch at that point. So
yeah,
if they're going to major in 12 personnel, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Oh, no doubt about it. The only thing that makes me worried about both of those guys we mentioned is their offensive line is missing some key pieces. The Patriots just got rid of their center, who was the stalwart for them. And they also, Nate Soldiers are banged up. They've got a couple of hurt, pieces there. I know the other, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but their other tackle had a bicep problem for a little while.
Steve-O, we've seen this before. We've seen this before.
Yeah, plug and play.
We've seen this before. Number 12 makes everything go.
It's true.
So,
and I do think the chip on his shoulder is a big deal.
If he has a half decent offensive line, or if he has a bad offensive line, it's all going to be dictated on him. Just throw the ball faster. Get it out of your hand.
Which he does perfectly anyway.
He has a quick release. Yes, he has a quick release. So he'll be fine. Those guys, my biggest thing with that team is I like the receiving core, but at what point?
No, you don't.
Go out to go get no. I'm just going to say. At what point do you not go out to go get a number 1 receiver? At some point,
they don't believe in that.
He's only played with a number 1 receiver 2 years. 2 years.
And they killed it.
That's it.
And they killed it. I know. That's not their MO.
I could see him winning MVP in 12 games.
12.
I can see that.
Games.
In 12 games.
Yeah, he'll put up enough points.
He's like Peyton Manning to me. Like those guys, yes, they're getting older, but their brain works so much faster than everybody else's that it makes up for the lack of talent that they may have at this point in their not lack of the decreasing talent that they are that they have. So
yeah, it's declining. But I think it's not declining like Peyton. I mean, Peyton fell off a damn cliff.
Yeah, it fell off a cliff, and his brain won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
His brain won a Super Bowl. So hey, that's what you want. And that's a solid MVP pick. So both of us obviously going quarterback because that was the only freaking position. The only freaking position that wins MVP is a quarterback. If you don't pick quarterback, you're a fool.
I know.
Yeah.
The writers love their quarterbacks, boy. I mean, it just don't matter.
Man,
it's a quarterback-driven league. I did a thing one time. Think of this, Fabe. One time I did this thing where I literally ranked. I did a survey on Twitter and through some other social media sites where I had players and fans rank the teams. And I just took the top 15 teams at an aggregate. And then I had the same group of people rank the quarterbacks. And almost every single time, not every time, there's always outliers, of course, but almost every time, the quarterback and the team rank was equal. So if you say Tom Brady's the best quarterback in the league, most of the people think the Patriots are the best team in the league. If you have Aaron Rodgers as the second best team in the league, most people think that the Packers are the second best team in the league. And over the years, I've noticed that ranking quarterbacks is really ranking the teams. I mean, if you look at the top, I mean, it's not always true. You look at Drew Brees, he's probably, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and the Saints are not, a top 5 team right now.
They need a defense.
Right. But in general, it's such a quarterback-driven league. I was having this conversation the other day with someone on Twitter, and it was about the Broncos and the Patriots, of course, having an argument. And the question came up, name one player other than Brady and Gronkowski that would start for the Broncos that's on the Patriots. Think about it. They don't have one person in the secondary. You don't have
think
one
McCourty would start?
Over who?
That's a tough.
See? You got Chris Harris, you got Talib, you got Roby, you got. I mean, there's. Look at the defensive line. Nope, there ain't one there. Definitely not in the linebackers category. You look at the wide receivers over, Thomas and Sanders. Nope, no way. So where? Running back, C.J. Anderson, and who do they got?
I would have to sit down and.
There's nobody.
Go.
Yeah, they don't have anybody, but except for Gronk, of course, which is a slam dunk, and Brady. So other than that, that's the only person, in my opinion, the only 2 people that would start for Denver. But yeah, everybody under the sun has the Patriots way ahead of the Broncos right now. And you tell me it's not a quarterback-driven league?
But
I mean, if you look at the rankings, if you go through and look at NFL.com, ESPN, Fox, all of them.
You got to realize, take your feelings out of it. You guys in Denver completely screwed the pooch at the quarterback position this offseason. You have a 7th-round draft pick starting tomorrow. If you take your biased self, Steve, out of it, you would think that team is going to fail. You would think that also, because you have to at some point throw the ball and connect. I promise you, tomorrow they going the world's going to see if I don't even know the guy's name. If he can throw the football. Yes, and the crazy thing is he's from here in Orlando, but
he's a cerebral quarterback.
If he can throw
he's very smart. Yeah.
No, because one thing about Carolina has a defense, so they know y'all want to run the ball.
But they're starting 2 rookie corners. 2 rookies.
Still got to get the ball there.
True, I agree.
Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, I've seen them make some outstanding drops.
Here's the funny thing.
Watching them play.
Yeah. True. Here's the funny thing about Denver. Everybody last year said they can't win because of their quarterback position. Peyton looks like Archie. They only had 19 passing touchdowns. He's dead. He's broken. They can't do it. They had the lowest number of passing touchdowns than any Super Bowl winner in the history of the NFL. Their passing percentage was under 60%. It was like 52% or something like that. Their numbers were atrocious in the passing game, but yet they still won the Super Bowl. So now that Peyton is gone, that flip side of that argument is, well, you can't win without Peyton. Well, 6 months ago we couldn't win with him, and now we can't win without him. It's almost like
I told
catch-22.
you. But like I said, no. Yes, arm was obviously gone, but his mind, his brain was there. So the world knew he couldn't throw a pass over 25 yards. But he was going to make sure if he had to throw a pass over 25 yards, it was coming out in less than a half a second to get to the 25-yard mark before the receiver got there. Now, you got this rookie. He's going to make some rookie. I'm not rookie. I think he's second-year guy, Simeon, right?
Yeah, second or third, one of the two. He's been holding the clipboard for a while, so it don't matter.
out of Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like us, he's going to take his bumps. And I think he's going to take a lot of bumps tomorrow night, actually, because Carolina isn't going to line up and let you take a picture of their defense and, okay, that's what the defense did. No, they're going to show you something and then take it away before you snap the ball. Now, you got to think on the fly.
Right.
This isn't preseason. Nobody game plans in preseason other than that third game. So now you're going to have to go against a full week of game. Nope, this is the first week. About a full 10 days. About a full 10 days of nothing but preparation for your team.
Exactly.
We will see what happens tomorrow.
Well, what I think, in my meaningless opinion, I think the Broncos are going to take a game plan, a page out of the 2005 Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger's rookie year Super Bowl winning team. I think that the throws that Simeon does throw are going to be calculated. They're going to be rollouts. They're going to be bootlegs. He's not going to be sitting in the pocket, dropping back and throwing it 40 times. They're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to have a lot of crossers. They're going to have a lot of naked bootlegs. They're going to have a lot of bubble screens. They're going to have a lot of, for a lack of a better word, gimmicky plays. And they're going to limit the throws. They're going to keep the game close. They're going to let the defense do what it does. And they're going to try to sustain drives by running the ball. You'll see a lot of two tight end sets. They're going to come out and they're going to run CJ and they're going to run Booker, the rookie from Utah, and they'll just pound it. And then on 3rd and 5, you'll see a bootleg or, some kind of, not a gimmicky play, but it'll be a limited first down chain moving throw and not, anything deep seams looking at, a skinny post over the middle for 30, 40 yards. I don't see that happening. So, Roethlisberger won the Super Bowl by throwing 10 passes. And I think that is the formula that Denver's going to try to utilize until he gets his feet under him, so to speak.
I could see that happening because the people in Denver, meaning the guys upstairs and the guys who's calling all the shots, they know his limitations. So obviously they're going to protect him. They have to. They have no choice. Because if Lynch was ready, he would be the starter. They obviously know that Lynch isn't ready. And with having a rookie quarterback, it's people in that locker room that want to win now. And the organization is setting up to win for the long haul. So I can understand Denver not playing the rookie. Because when you play a rookie, that almost means, hey, we ain't going to the playoffs this year.
Right.
That's pretty much what it means. We're not going to the playoffs, so they're trying to get him as many snaps as they can for the next few years.
I think we'll see Lynch before Week 5, though. I do.
If we see Lynch by Week 5, the Broncos don't make the playoffs.
That may be true, but I do think they're going to get him out sooner rather than later. I think in today's NFL,
if the Broncos can possibly win with the quarterback that they have now, Lynch won't play this year. But the first sign that the Broncos see that this season may be over, Lynch is in. He's in. They're going to give up. And it's not giving up. It's giving up on the season, not the organization. Because now, why would I stick with this guy when we just invested a first-round draft pick in this guy? No, let the first-round draft pick take these bumps and bruises. Let him get it all out of his system. So next year he comes in.
It's not the same. It's not the same NFL as it used to be either. I mean, before quarterbacks had to sit and wait and earn their stripes, and nowadays you see rookies coming in and balling. I mean, look at Russell Wilson. Look at Jameis Winston last year had a great year. You have guys that can come right in. More colleges are doing more things with these kids, to get them up and going. To get them ready to play. Hey.
No, I agree.
We got our very first caller on the line. You want to take a call?
It's up to you.
Oh,
you take
they hung
call.
up. I was about to put them on air, and they said, nope, I'm afraid.
Hey, one thing about me, hey, I'm going to keep it 100. Hey.
We got 5 minutes left in the show. So whoever that was that just called in, if that was from your neck of the woods,
we got 5 minutes left in the show. We got to do our rundown, Steve, of division winners.
I told you it goes by fast. All right, go ahead. AFC division winners, go.
AFC division winners.
Your caller's back. Hold on. The caller's back. Here we go. Hold on. Caller's back. Let's take our first call. Go ahead. You're welcome. On to Florida Boy Sports. Who are we talking with?
Hey, what's up? This is Travis Washington. This is Cuz Old Fade.
Oh, what's up, Travis?
Hey, what's up? Hey, man, I'm listening to the radio show, man. Hey, Cuz, I believe I'm with you 100% on that. Definitely they're going to throw a rookie quarterback in there if he's going to continue to lose those games for sure. Just as an organization, who will want to continue to lose with a guy that's picked in the 7th round? They want to give that rookie some reps because now you got to look long term as an organization. So I definitely agree with you on that. Keep the radio show going. I like what y'all talking about. I definitely tune in.
We appreciate your call. Thanks for calling in, man.
Hey, no problem.
All right. Now let's get this. I'm going to get the AFC out. I can't even explain why I picked these picks. And, yes, probably some people going to be pissed, but who cares? All right, my AFC picks are the Patriots, the Bengals, Houston, and the Raiders to win the division. My 2 wild cards are the Ravens and the Broncos.
The Ravens. Okay. All right. I am a little
laughing
different.
At the Ravens for? We're healthy right now.
You are? With what? A broken Achilles? Pitta? Is Pitta even play anymore? And what about Perriman? He's healthy. He just tore his ACL again.
No, he didn't.
Partially.
He'll be playing. He'll be playing. Trust me.
Yeah, all right.
First of all, that division is there for the pickings. You go with your AFC pick.
Pittsburgh is solid. What are you talking about? They're loaded.
Go ahead.
They got running. All right. Well, there's my North pick is the Steelers. We'll start right there. Looking at the South, I'm actually going to go with the Colts just because Andrew Luck. I'm going to give him the nod. I want to say Tennessee, but I like Houston too. That's the toughest division for me. I mean that really could go any which way. There's no team
seen the
that's
Colts
great.
defense?
Have you seen any other defenses except for the Texans? But I don't trust Brock Osweiler.
That's why
I watched him. His accuracy is horrible.
You're a sour Broncos fan right now.
No, I'm telling you, you wait and see. There's a reason that Elway didn't pay him. He ain't stupid. Trust me. You will wait and see. But anyway,
or he may be. Shoot.
We'll see. All right, so I'm going with the Colts. Out west, you already know who I'm taking in the AFC West. They're the reigning Super Bowl champions, Denver Broncos. And in the East, I am taking the New England Patriots because, like I said, Tom Brady and company they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Give me your wild cards.
Wild card teams, I have the Oakland Raiders making the playoffs, and I am also going to go with the New York Jets. I like the Jets. I think their offense is going to come together, and you know what they can do on defense. That's my picks.
Okay. All right, let's get it moving on to the NFC now. All right, I'm going to go Giants, Green Bay, Panthers, Cardinals. My 2 wild cards are Seattle and the Falcons.
That is exactly my picks, except for the Falcons. Take the Falcons out and put in the Washington Redskins. And I agree with you 100%.
No way. I think the Falcons defense is going to be much improved this year.
I don't trust Matt Ryan.
Know they have offense. No,
I don't trust Matt Ryan.
His problem is he forces the ball to Julio.
I don't care what his problem is. The problem is he don't win enough ball games.
He doesn't win, and I agree. But that comes with forcing the ball to Julio. But I think the Falcons will win enough games this year to get in the playoffs.
True. You still with me? We are technically off air at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Florida Boy Sports. We had a great first show. It was fun. It was light, and I always enjoy spending time with my partner, Fabian Washington. We will pick this show up every Tuesday and Friday at what time you want, 8 or 9?
Whatever time you want, Steven.
You call it, Fabian. Call me my full name like my mom. Go ahead.
But yeah,
we'll say 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock from 8 to 10,
we
2 hours.
Agree on the time.
8 o'clock, prime time, 8 to 10, Tuesday and Friday. Every Tuesday we'll recap the weekend, and every Friday we'll tell you what we think is going to happen over the weekend. We'll have a lot of picks. We got different segments, tons of great guests. It's going to be a lot of fun. Keep it light, laugh, enjoy ourselves. Remember, it's just sports. Anything you want to say, Fabo, before we close it up?
Hey, NFL is back.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Listen up, amigos. Little Caesar's Large Hot and Ready Classic is just $5 Monday through Sunday. Other pizza deals are only available Monday through Thursday. I'll smash a foldable chair over 'em and bust them in half, son! Little Caesar's has no strings attached. Those other pizza deals make you buy 2 or more items, and I'll smash them up! Think I'll run out of chairs to smash? I own the Chair Factory and all of its subsidiaries, boy!
Get a large hot and ready pepperoni pizza for just $5 every single day, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
At participating locations plus tax.